In the previous video, I worked on the user authentication that generates JWT or JWS to be exact, and then encrypt it using AES encryption. The next for this project was to work on the layer between microservice and the database. But before that, I need an ORM, which they are very slow and affect the performance for a Golang project. The reason is that when we have a package that builds the query for us, when we maintain a query, the improvement will apply to the entire project, rather than keep searching and updating the query everywhere in the project. Here is my thoughts for building the query. So the query builder I want to create, it should handle multiple databases such as Postgres, MongoDB, or anything else that I'm going to use in future, which I'm not sure now, but for now I'm very sure that I'm going to use 80 to 90% Postgres. And the second feature should be struct, converting the struct to syntax, to tables and SQL query. The third is to create, insert, read, update, delete, which is a CRUD basically. And then I want to create or drop the table using the struct. When I want to connect to the database, it should give me the ability to connect to the Postgres or MongoDB based on what database I'm going to use. The next is to create or drop the table based on the struct that I defined in the project. So for example, here is a user struct. So I want to, for creation, I want to create the table which is user. But in the database, I need to change this name of the user to users, and all of them are lowercase. The next is the syntax to query. So I want to have something like dbData and then put the struct with fields and values, and then use insert method and then execute method, and then this syntax needs to convert to the SQL query and then execute it on the database. So let's get started. Before I jump into creating the library for the query builder, so I'm going to create a dummy project to just call the library to test, because it's easier to test. Okay, here I define two structs, which is the user and the user details. I want to have relational database here, so some of the user information you're going to store in the user detail, such as email and phone, but this one is just a dummy for test. It can be anything. So for now I want to keep it simple. So the first thing I want to do is to create a table for the database, and then I want to insert the data to the table, and then for the test I want to drop the table, and then we have another one which is insert with relation. Okay, so I want this function to convert my struct to the table and then extract all this data from the struct value and fields that I pass to this parameter. And then here I have processing the struct. I want to have struct tag. So this is going to help me to add some additional information for each field, but not actually here. Here I want to have those tags. In for the relational database, which this one is pointing to the relational table, which is a user detail, I want to specify that this is not a column for this table. Okay, I created the read tags function here. So I want this function to extract all those tags which I added here and here. So I want to be able to get all these tags and understand what are these, and then export it and return it as a map. Okay, so in this function is going to process the struct field for me, and then I get a type, reference, and if I have cascade or relationship to that, I'm going to extract. For example, I'm referring to this exactly. Okay, in this case, it's going to iterate over the length of that, like how many. Maybe here is one only, but maybe I want to have multiple. And then after that is going to use the model data again, and it's going to be kind of recursive. So it's going to refer to this again, go to the loop, and then go to the process, struct, and so on and so forth. Okay, so now I need to go back to the table. I just pass the model to the model data function, and it's going to extract the necessary data for me. So I have this here because I have in mind to run multiple queries at once, so I can append them. But so for now, because it's one and I don't want to later have a different structure for every single method, so I'm going to append and assume everything must be append, even it's a single query like this. And so I have run the test PostgreSQL in the Docker, which is I built for my test environment only. So it's running right now, and I just need to execute the code to see whether it's going to create a table for me or not. So now I need to connect to the database and execute the query that I just built. So just for the test environment, I disable the SSL. Okay, this is a connection, and I hope it works. But moving on, I need to have something to ping. Okay, we didn't receive any error. I think it's connected because I run the ping. So if there is some error, I must write down for me here. Yeah, let's see now. We got something or no? Oh yes. Okay, it's created a database. Why is it showing like that? There's no column for this. It's strange. Okay, so we need to see what is the problem here. Yes, this is the problem because there's no columns coming to this query. The query was created until here. Not bad, okay. But there is no column coming here. Okay, let's see why. Okay, so after searching for that, I realized that I had another typo, which was this. It was like this. It was supposed to be with E. Let's run this. See. Okay, now we get all the columns here. That is good. So let's see if it affected our database. I think because it already exists. Yeah. So we drop it manually. And then rerun this. Oh yeah, we get this. Now we have the columns, okay. So ID. Yep. All looks good to me. So the next is I want to also try this for another table. See if it's going to work. I think there's some problem there. Okay, so apparently today I cannot type properly because I got another typo and the error is coming from this. That's why I'm not able to create the table for the user detail. Actually, it wasn't a typo, it is just a space that's going to join these together. Okay. Now let's see. We got this right. Yes. Okay, we got the ID user ID. So let me see if there's any foreign. Okay, there's a foreign key. But I'm wondering why I never get the icon around this here. But anyway, just I want to drop the table. So something like drop variable, and then again you pass the struct. Okay, so in here I'm going to drop the tables that is related to this main table, and then at the end is going to drop the main table. Oh yeah, yes, so that's good. There is no table drop also working. So what is next is to insert data. So I need to have a mechanism here to combine and join two columns and values together for the insert. So I think this is going to be useful for other parts in the project. It'll make it helpful for these. As an output, I just need to have column and values in a string. Okay, I just want to run the tests. Yep. So now let's try to execute it. Good to go. Okay. Oh yeah, it's created. So now it's the time to insert with relations. So for these, I need to use the data again. But okay, so I've added the data for the relational table, and I want to insert with relation. Let's name it. Okay, so I'm going to run this. So the query is created. Yep. Here, forgot the parentheses. Okay, there's no error, so hopefully it's already in the database. Yes. Okay, so it's okay. The icon is here, not there. Let me just drop this to see whether the cascade works. Okay, number 13 gone. Let's just make it for everything. And here is, yeah. Okay, the cascade also works. So the next is going to be fetching the data. Fetch data from the table. So apparently the query is created for the fetching data, for selecting the tables correctly. And yes, we get data. Okay, we get X, A, B, which are in the database, and then the age is correct, but the only thing we don't receive the relational data because I haven't created anything for that yet. Okay, I'm getting the correct query right now. So let's run this. And something is wrong here. That's because here we have the pants. So if we use the where method, we need to remove everything with the queries slice. So if we get here and everything was fine, run p queries. Yeah. Yes, and we can see we get only one value or one row. So let's change these to 5. And yeah, we get AB. All looks good to me. And of course, there are some improvement that need to be done for this package. For example, avoiding the SQL injection and completing the fetch data with the relational databases or tables. All these things I'm going to improve off the camera, and then going to go through the improvement and the updates in the next video. And that was all for this video, and thanks for watching.